deer camp in the public land mountains of Oklahoma. I don't know what brings me more joy, the smell of pine sap, the sound of a dropping oak tree, or familiar faces that I don't get to see nearly as often as I'd like. Nonetheless, the mountains present a unique challenge that keeps us coming back year after year. Now, the mountains aren't known for their deer density, but with plenty of cover and forage, these bucks embody quality over quantity. And that's what keeps me coming back. Even though they're hard to find, tough to kill, they get old. And that is a trophy in itself. What I love about this place is you can't rest on your laurels. The mountains change each and every year. Oftentimes a good spot from last year turns into a dud and you're back at square one once again. Admittedly, we don't always connect on a mountain buck with our bows every year, but the chase and the previous success from years past keeps us coming back for another round. This past October, we set out to chase mountain bucks on public land with friends and family, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint.
This is my sleeping situation.
You didn't have to flex on us, it goes up like that.
Obviously. It's unmade, but pillow. Bag goes under my pillow. These poles go up front, and I kind of catty corner it. I can finally stretch out. It's pretty nice. I'm going to, I might be on an episode of Van Life. I don't know.
Or Whitetail Cribs.
But anyways, yeah, we're down here on our public piece, and we are trying to do a little bit of shed hunting. Got us some coffee, and waiting on Christian to get dressed and on a roll. Dude.
I don't think you can differentiate this 100-yard section of pines and oaks from that 100-yard section over there or the next one, especially when you have a spot that's 900 yards long with pines and oaks. And it could happen. You see it happen all the time. But there could be a buck stand up out of that little drainage and walk right by you. But I feel like at that point you're back into the hoping game.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I hope he's bedded right there. And you know the nomadicness of these bucks. They don't bed in the same spot. He could be bedded there one hunt.
That's
the
true.
next time you come back, he could be bedded there on your access. And you don't have great access into here because you really don't know. There's no defined bedding. Bedding is everywhere. So that's why I like the spot with the better thermal cover and the topography, the up and down, and the grasses over there versus this.
Broke.
It's an oldie, isn't it?
Broke, yeah.
Ooh.
Or it was a good one.
Hallelujah.
We didn't get skunked.
Oldie but goodie, huh?
That's cool.
What did I literally was saying, this is the kind of spot you can find a shed. That one stuck out sore, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not seeing that one from 20 yards. There's a fence right there.
Hold that sucker up, let's take a look at her.
Imagine if it wasn't broke though. That'd be a pretty good shed.
I bet he's good now, because that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, probably like a 120s 10.
Yeah, well, ain't big enough.
Yeah, throw that back. I'm not even excited. Well, we need to spend a second right here.
Yeah.
That's
What
awesome.
is that? 2?
We got about one shed for 3 miles.
Yep. That's good. That's
Cool.
good.
There we go on the board.
There's the jawbone right there. See, this is what really gets me going.
Drop that other shed.
Deadheads. What do you mean? That's cool. How long you think he's been there? 3?
Oh, wow.
That's cool. I knew it. As soon as I'm telling you, dude, vertebrae. As soon as you find vertebrae,
You find deer.
you look.
Hold that sucker
There's a
up.
jawbone. Hold on, I'm gonna go. Let's go look at this jawbone real quick. Well, we got both of them. You're gonna have to judge those. I don't really know.
Let's see him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That fourth. So usually, you see how, well, this beer's kind of worn down, but you see right here how you have this like crowning right here, the still sharpness right here. So if he was less than probably 5 years old, you'd see some of this crowning on this fourth tooth. When they start to wear flat, that's like usually 4.5, 5 plus.
But if it's still sharp like that.
So my Texas buck was aged at 5, and he still had some of the sharpness. So you
Really?
can see the wear, and it's different on each different environment, right? So
So what would you put that one at?
this is probably Probably at least 5.
You think so?
Yeah. That wouldn't be out of line for that buck. I mean,
He does set up tall.
that's what, a 120s.
I mean, he really sets up right there, and then he goes up.
He's got good time.
That's a high and tight buck.
Yeah, he's 120s probably. I would say.
I bet you it still looks pretty good maintained. So how much they swoop and go up?
Was that a shooter for you in the mountains?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. It'd be a hard pass, that's for sure. That's cool though. We're on the board.
Dude, that's a freshie.
Hell yeah. That's
You
all
like
I
that
find.
one?
Dude, if they ain't bleach white, I ain't finding them. That's my problem.
Well, if they ain't anything, I ain't finding them. I ain't finding nothing.
That's why you're the cameraman.
Shut up.
On all good trip, we're gonna be at the shed hunting grind once again next weekend. Hopefully have a little bit better luck of the shed hunting. The mountains aren't exactly the best place to find sheds, but sometimes you stumble upon one. All right, guys, we were down here on public land in the mountains of Oklahoma. I can't do anything but smile because God is good and I love the freaking mountains. So I'm going down here and I'm hunting what I'm gonna call the Y. It's a new spot, and it's basically where 3 drainages come together, and there's an oak flat up on the west side of it. So that's what I'm planning to do this morning. I'm gonna sneak up in here, a spot I've never been to. It's 40 degrees this morning, so we're just gonna try to get on some really good topography that's gonna funnel some of that movement, because I think there's gonna be a lot of it this morning. So slept in the rooftop tent last night. Jake just headed out, and let's go get us a deer. That was kind of cool. I think that was a different doe than what was on that group. So I think that's the 5th doe I've seen. But she came right up this drainage where they usually come from during the rut, and I thought she was just gonna work her way down, but she veered off. The closest she got was 40, 43, something like that. And I would have taken that shot if I'd have known she wasn't going to come closer. That was obviously a select cut before I was rudely interrupted by Jake. There was some good growing up pines and some oaks in there. Beat down path. It's October 17th, so that looks like a really good rut spot.
Jesus, I thought we wanted to keep the conversation short and not 5 minutes long of just talking.
This is what they came for. They came for bad commentary on deer hunting.
Listen, you know how many good areas we've been in that it's like, oh man, this looks money, and then there's not crap there, or not crap there at that particular point in the season?
90% of the time.
90% of the time is probably correct. That might even be on the low end. But with that being said, this does actually look like a good spot.
All right. Woo. Good morning. Well, it is October 18th. It's 5:30 in the morning, and I've drove all the way across the state last night to chase a buck we called the curly-browed 10. This is a deer that we have had on camera for 3 years now. First as a 3.5-year-old, nice, probably 130-inch buck. Last year he was a 4-year-old, and I believe Drew saw him in person. He was probably mid-150s, and this year he's even bigger eye guards, bigger 2s, 3s, 4s, bigger beams, a little bit better mass. We think he's close to a 160-inch deer. So I drove 4.5 hours across the state. Even though I was hunting public last night with my buddies, and so I have one good shot at this in the morning. It's a southeast wind, which is good for where I'm going in, and we're just gonna try to get this deer killed. We got one hunt for him, and then we're driving back over to public and gonna try to get it done there. So he's been showing up. He's came through on this camera 4 or 5 days in a row, which he was really nomadic and like a ghost last year. So it's really exciting, but it sucked because I was hunting somewhere else and he just kept doing this. But Drew and Jake and I just decided, like, hey, this is probably the prime opportunity to get this buck killed, so I'm gonna try to do it. And we're not staying too far from the lease, so we're gonna drive over there, try to slip into the stand. It's a really full moon tonight, so I'm hoping that I can slip in without a light and get set up pretty quiet. I kind of switched to my smaller bag for that reason, but 45 degrees. Here in less than 2 hours, we'll probably get a shot at this sucker. So that's the plan, and let's go try to get this done and get back over to public and double up. So we'll see you guys later. In my deer cast app where I think I shot him, which was right there, just slightly quartering to, slightly. I waited till he turned, but he ran up to her about 70 or 80 yards, and I think he fell over and crashed, but I'm not completely sure. But I can see my arrow, it's sticking in the ground. That VBA or Omega blew through the shoulder and stuck in the ground with a 480 grain arrow. So maybe there is a way to have a best of both worlds, but I think this is the best buck that I've ever shot. This buck means a lot to me. He means a lot to me. Not because of what he is, but because of what's been going on. I just haven't really felt like myself for the last month, and just to get out here in the woods again. I heard two bucks fighting this morning. Does blowing. I heard little wheezes. This just makes me feel like me again. And I got my boys out there grinding on public, so I really want to go get this buck so I can hang out with them. So I think that's what we're gonna do. It's been about 30 minutes. We're gonna go see if we can find this buck.
I think he's heart and lung shot, so go check him out. There he is. There he is.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. What a freaking deer. What a deer. Look at that, guys.
Driving knowing. I know you probably already kind of have, but
Scored him?
wait.
I haven't scored him. No. No. Well, I'll score him and then Jake can score him and we'll see how close we are. I mean, there is one way to score a deer, so.
I just got a text from Christian. And so he was down here hunting with us. And he has a lease in southwest Oklahoma that he got a good picture on for like 4 days in a row. And he had the right wind, so he made like a 4-hour drive all the way to southwest to his lease. And he sends me this picture. So he got the killing started. I just now asked him for some more pigs, but it's a stud. That's a stud. But I'm glad someone seen movement this morning. That's awesome. But yeah, I think he's gonna probably take care of that deer, and I would assume get here later this evening. I don't know if he'll have time for a hunt after he gets all that taken care of, but that's super exciting. First one on the board in Oklahoma for 2024. So all right, guys, so just a little update. Christian is almost here, Peyton is here, but Jake Ayers shot a buck this morning about 8:30, and we'll let him give a little rundown on it. But we jumped around to try to give it a little bit of time and like checking out spots because he feels like he didn't hit it the best. But I think it's a dead deer. We'll let him explain the story, but let's go see what he has to say. Long story short, Jake shot one this morning, and we've been waiting on Christian and Peyton to get here. So we went and checked out a couple spots in the meantime, try to give it some time. But give us the rundown of everything that happened this morning.
Okay, so snuck into a new spot, and it was a spot that we picked out last night, looked at together, me and Jake did, and didn't know at that point in time, or at least Jake didn't remember, I didn't know, but it was a spot that Christian and Jake had put a camera out yesterday. Nevertheless, thought it looked good on the map, so snuck in there, got set up a little late, actually about 6:50s whenever I actually sat down in my stand. I was getting kind of cold, so I wanted to get some blood circulation, and so I grabbed my bow and I was just going to drop back and pretend like I was pulling up on a deer. And I pulled my bow up, I set the cam on my knee, and then I I clip on, and at that point in time I heard something off to my left, and I thought it was just an acorn falling. I look over and about 60 yards away, a doe comes up from the creek and is working straight to me. And off to the east, which would have been off to my left shoulder, there's probably 2 or 3 more mature oaks that were dropping acorns. And she works in to about 20 yards, and then an acorn falls to my right, and immediately she gravitates towards it. And as she does, she hears something back from the way she came, and I look up, and here's this buck. He comes up from the creek bottom and has his head kind of low to the ground, and just based off of the frame knew that it was a deer that I'd be interested in shooting. And so as he approaches, she gets pushed off, runs away, and then he works the same trail up about 20 yards away from my tree stand. And one of the mature oak trees that was dropping acorns, as he cut behind it, I drew back and I grunted at him as soon as he cleared, and he stopped, and I let the arrow fly, and I hit him back probably 10 or 12 inches too far behind the pocket, right behind the elbow. Horizontally it looked, or excuse me, vertically it was good. Horizontally it was probably a foot back. Anyways, he wheels out and he goes 30 or 40 yards, and whenever he quits running, he just starts slow walk. I knew I'd hit gut, at least on the exit. And as he got up on the top of the ridge, he went behind a sumac patch, kind of disappeared for 2 or 3 minutes, and I was just sitting there glassing with my binoculars. And then he reemerges, just kind of catching glimpses of his antlers, and he's working back to the northeast at this point, pretty much in the direction of where he would have come from. Probably poor judgment, but I figured if it was a straight gut shot, given the wind, because it was coming from the northwest, it was really working in my favor to try to sneak up on him from the ground, which is risky. But if it was just a straight gut shot, I was concerned that we wouldn't be able to recover him from a blood trail. So I got down, wanted to try to find my arrow first and see what kind of sign there might be to indicate how good the shot might have been, and really found pretty good blood. I think based off of the entry and the exit and the blood, probably liver and then gut on the exit.
Predictions.
If the blood
How
trail,
big is he? You know, tell the people how big you think he was.
he's about like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
about 160.
I'd say at least like 105.
Okay.
You know, at least 105. I would say no bigger than 200.
Okay.
Somewhere between 105 and 2.
I like it.
Dude, I'm in a rush, man.
Man, the myth, the legend.
Giving these deer a few more hours to live, baby.
He's got the magic touch.
So we are headed to go pick up Jake's buck. He shot it at 8:30 this morning. It's 4:15 right now, and by the time we get out there, it'll be closer to 4:30. So good 8 hours. And on a gut shot, that's probably the minimum you want to wait before you go check things out. But listening to his story, he had a whole bunch of blood on his arrow. At the point of impact, he had a whole bunch of blood on the ground, and he said it looked like a water bottle spraying out. So I've had my fair share of gut shots on deer, and in my own opinion, they don't bleed like that if you just strictly gut shot it, nothing else. So I am pretty hopeful that he is dead.
Alright, so I had some toilet paper, as any well-prepared hunter would have as they go into the woods in the morning time. And can confirm, Peyton can confirm. And so anyways, I laid just little pieces down where I took up the blood trail. Was able to get about 30 yards in and just fell short, didn't find anything, just right offhand, and didn't want to push around too much, so we're gonna go take up the blood trail. Alright, solo update. The blood is very, very sparse. I believe, are about to call a dog. But We found last blood, and we've kind of perimetered about 50 yards, 75 yards further.
Private land warrior. Welcome back to public. Gosh.
Back gladly.
That's for the camera. Dude, I understand.
You understand why I had to make a trip right quick?
I understand. Me and Jake were actually really glad that you shot this thing, because we were debating on it the whole day, like
About what?
how big this thing was.
Oh, we're fixing to find out.
Yeah,
I haven't
know.
touched it.
So we'll wait till he gets over here and the tracker gets on their way. But
What, is he bigger or smaller than you thought?
he's framey.
I think he's just slightly wider than I thought.
Yeah, no, his beams are, I think, what I thought, but he's all there.
Look at him from right
This
here.
is your biggest buck.
Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this angle.
I think I like the frontal better.
You
Like
see all the
that?
tines.
That's a beautiful buck.
Took me 2 hours and lost the thumb to clean him.
I'm gonna say
I've gotten anywhere from 140 to 165. I know what I think.
154.
Carol?
Oh no. The
What?
eye guards.
Dude, they're 8 inches
They're
apiece.
huge. Are we counting this or no?
It's 2.5 inches, yeah. It's gonna count. I know what I think.
So gross.
Yeah. What, we fishing?
What is he, a 10? 11?
10 with a. This is basically an Osceola turkey
Oh my
sparrow off
God.
the front.
I think this is longer than you think.
Oh, this is 8 plus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 158. That's just, I don't know.
But the beams.
It didn't come through on camera how framey he is. Like, look at it from this angle on the top.
Yeah.
Like you can see, because these come in again.
Carol, you hold it for a second. With that little kicker,
Yeah.
the eye guard just throw me off.
What happens if you get the 100 grip?
Oh, dude, Carol's got you. He's got you.
Roll
We're
up.
just told. Break the wrist and walk away.
Pull down when they shoot up.
Oh, he's a beast. He's deep on the single. He's deep on the single. Carol's low to the ground, dude. He can shoot that low on the single bad.
It's like a bulldog.
Listen, you guys don't need to stop until someone draws blood, and obviously it ain't gonna be Jake.
Okay.
All right, we are scoring Christie's buck right now. Aaron, what are you thinking?
We'll go 156 and 3/8.
I think that's a good guess. I think you might pop
Carol.
that as brow.
158 on the dot.
What you got?
155 and a half.
155. Christy?
161.
Okay. Jares. Mr. President.
Protect the president.
Quit adding up. You're doing measurements in your head.
Under the tape.
163 and 5/8. So now we've got, so that's a whole, so 73 plus 18 plus 71, 162 and 4/8.
Oh, and 4/8.
Yep, so 72 and 18, 72 and 18, and then 71. And then we'll add our eighths, which this is 7/8 and 1/8, which is a whole, so it's 162 and 4/8.
162 and a half. 162 and a half.
160. What?
162 and 4/8. Woo, boy. That's a smoker.
she's a year and a half now.
We drove 2 hours to get it.
You guys must really enjoy it.
We're really wore out.
You notice how I'm wetting her nose
Yeah.
and face?
All the stuff.
That helps to enhance the scent.
Really? Okay.
I love the color of those dogs.
Yeah, they're a beautiful color. Bodark's a little darker. No, you're getting it. Don't run away.
She done tried to jump in the back seat.
Come here, Bo. Come on.
It's like going duck hunting. Like you go half the time just to watch your dog do cool stuff. I think we're going to go in here. I think on Jake's last blood, where you guys had the bed. I think we're gonna go another 400 yards. And I think there's gonna be some zigzagging that we weren't expecting. That's my prediction.
The magazine.
My boy, he's still on him.
Good deal. Check. Find him. Find him.
First, I didn't want to lose the cross the road, but I let it go. I found blood on there.
She hates it when I put water on her.
He said I just got dry.
Gotta keep that blood fresh. Did you get him? Did you get the deer?
Yeah, baby! Oh my god!
What I'm talking about, baby.
Oh my god!
Let me work.
Let's go! Congratulations, Jake Harris.
I appreciate it.
Backside. Here we go.
Oh, she ain't playing.
Good job. Good
Thank
job.
you. Woo, boy.
Cypress's turn.
Oh, thank you so much.
She's not growling at y'all.
No,
She's growling at Bodark.
Good God, Jake.
So they was on a hot trip.
Good puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Good puppy. Oh
Nah.
my goodness.
That's an awesome deer.
let me get her tied off.
So they was on a hot track, and we just had to restart them.
Oh.
Decent beams on him.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you got some beans
He's
on
not
him.
very wide, but I mean,
Nice.
there's that little four I was telling you about.
Congrats, man.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Good job. Oh my goodness. You deserve that
Dude.
one. That was a job well done.
There's no way on God's green earth.
That's pretty neat.
Good girl, Cypress.
You did good.
Trying to get
Just a good deer.
I appreciate it. Thank you very
Not a
much.
problem.
Well, the biggest question is, what about the meat?
You shot him. It should be fine.
You
the
think
inside
so?
loins
Yeah.
probably ain't, but
No,
Yeah,
I
your
don't figure
inside
the
loin
tenderloins
probably
would be.
everything else should be all right.
Awesome.
Dude, he is tall. He's tall.
I told you he grew up. Like
Yeah,
his 2s and 3s aren't very long, but his frame went up,
Dude,
and
yeah.
that's what impressed
This
me.
video does him no justice.
It's all there, dude. I like big bucks and I cannot lie. Other brothers can't deny.
Yeah.
When I pull a 140-pound buck out of the mountains, I feel like I need to get stuck.
Look at that. That's what dreams are made of right there. What do you think?
Worth the wait.
That's a good buck, dude.
Thank you. And now,
That's a great
now
buck.
guess what?
What?
I gotta go grab my stand.
Oh, have fun, dude.